Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, Big Funk. Thank you right out here rocking my red. Today is my grandson's hoop game, so I gotta rep his colors and rep his school. So I'm rocking today red for my grandson. But you know what we do. Let's go. Right is 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. Message the story for life. I give life lessons. I appreciate you tuning in. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's my mission. That all right thinkers, all you thousand plus, know thyself. That's my goal, and I'm on it. Your job is to pay attention, learn your lessons, and become your best self by knowing thyself. Let's go. That's my mission. A person who knows not, excuse me, ask the question. Do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if not, I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. Let's go. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. There's a lot of that going on. A person who knows not, but knows that they know not, is simple. You teach them. They're willing to learn. They know they don't know, so you can teach them. I appreciate them too. I got you. Stay tuned. A person who knows not and believes or think they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows, but knows not that they know, got an issue with that one, but okay, they're asleep spiritually. My job as a spiritual alarm clock is to wake you up with knowledge of self. Let's go. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons, they reside in you. Right thinkers know themselves. And to my app, be true. Today, big boy style. Tree of life. Yeah, we back. Okay, I gave you a few lessons, but at all times, and remember, this is lessons. These are lessons you can learn for life to help you know thyself. That's my mission, and I'm on it. So this lesson is titled, Right Thinkers, let's talk about introduction to the philosophy of the Neteru and the tree of life of the Anuian theurgy. Remember, we talk about gods, we talk about the hidden secrets and understanding the gods and harnessing their powers. This is going to be a good lesson for you. Let's go. I got you. Now, in the last lesson, we did an overview of the previous series that we had done called the Introduction to the Anuian Theurgy. Again, theurgy spelled Theurgy. It means the study of the gods, the beginning. And that class, you learned about the oldest theurgy, again, in human history, the earliest known religion. That was not the earliest form of philosophy in ancient Kemet, but it was the earliest completely espoused and codified form of religious philosophy. The Anuian theurgy and the god Ra is the central figure of what? The theurgy, the high god of, or aka supreme being, the ultimate cause of everything that exists. We all understand that. Follow along. Come on. Everything branches out from Ra as an upside down tree. The tree, like this, branches here. This tree is upside down. Your roots, see, the roots are down here. The tree upside down. Your roots is up in heaven, conceptually. So the tree has to be what? It's designed by the sun disk. Its roots show about the sun disk where in the sky. Again, it's upside down, the roots in the sky. And watch this. Its branches, which is the sun rays, reaching down to what? The earth, extended out not just to the earth, but throughout what? The whole physical realm. In fact, the roots are in the transcendental worlds in the noon, where at the top of the podium I showed you before, the noon, where nothing happens but everything is potential. And watch this, and everything comes out of there. And then coming to what? The physical world, aka you got three realms: the Ta, which is the earth; Pet, which is heaven; Dua is another world. Okay, that's where God dwells in the end. That's the whole spirits want to go. Let's go. Now, this realm of the new, what the hell is that? It is the undifferentiated consciousness, meaning nothing's going on, but anything could happen, aka chaos. But watch this. Now, that doesn't know anything. That's Apophis. That's him hanging out in the noon. As long as it's like that, he's good. There's no light. There's nothing going on. Everything is the way he wanted. So watch this. Then that doesn't do anything in the noon. It just sits there. It's not in any kind of form. Remember, it's formless. It doesn't care about holding any shape. It's good. It's just there again. And then some kind of impetus, there you go, is implied to that substratum of existence, the undifferentiated matter. And then what? That matter, which was previously undifferentiated, guess what happened? Began to take various shapes and forms and sizes and functions. And these impetuses that cause change what in the undifferentiated matter, which is the known, we're still there, matter, and cause it to what? Become differentiated. That's the cause of existence, starting to come into existence. We call them what? Cosmic forces. Remember that. Cosmic forces. That's what we know it to be. The concept being what related here is that the extension of the netter through what? The Neteru and the Netta, who was the supreme being, God, branches out into what? His creation by means of cosmic forces, aka Neteru. Here we go, stay with me. That is the basis of the Anoian theurgy, creation myth. It's a myth. And the foundation of what? The concept behind the tree of life of the Anoian theurgy. We take you from heaven, bring you down to get you to go back up. Like the cerebral spinal fluid that goes to the body. It goes up. If it ain't tampered with, you keep your chakras open up. The spinal column, you keep everything flowing up. When it go up, it gets purified and comes back down. That's the gift from God. That's the concept of the tree of life coming down to get you back up, purified. Okay, let's go. Now, watch this. These cosmic forces. Remember, I'm talking about cosmic forces. I'm trying to keep you there because it's about to get good. The cosmic forces are governed by what? By principles. We live by principles. And those principles are what? We give them name, identity. Watch this. Those principles denote the manner in which the energy of the cosmic force operates or manifests. What the hell that mean? You have already been given the name of these principles with the Anuian theurgy, tree of life. You know that the main names already Ra, Aset, Shu, Geb, Tefnut, Asar, Tahuti, Mayat, Neteru, etc. Sounds familiar? We're going to learn all of them. When I'm get done, you'll know every one of them. Why? Because that's how you're going to know yourself. They are you. These are, watch this, these are all principles and cosmic forces as well as elements that have been taken from out of the primeval matter, aka the noon, from an outer source where consciousness, God, watch this, in exotic sense. People may look at this strictly as what? A religion. Religion is something you follow on a day-to-day practice. So yeah, if you practicing something, follow something, you can call it religion. Understand that? So we all have our religions. And to think of it, watch this, to think of these as just actual personalities, in a sense, they are. But just like human beings have what? Personalities, but the Neteru are much more than that. What you mean? Consider that people act, let's say, in a certain way in society. We recognize that and label them as what? In accordance to the way their actions. You acting a fool, we call you a fool. You cool, we call you cool. That's the concept. What's this? So, for example, people on Wall Street, use that for example. Good one. People who like to buy stocks and invest in a lot of things and spend a lot of money, they are called what? We call them bulls. He's bullish on Wall Street. Remember that? That's the concept. Okay, we understand that, but this is the next point. Now, if you believe, think, or act with that kind of energy, you're referred to on Wall Street as being bullish. Again, that's why I like doing this. If you like to hang back and see what's going on before you invest, you be cautious, they'll call you the bear. That's how bears act. They don't just jump out there, bull just run, he don't care. So they show you a difference in quality in the character and using the animals as an example. We're about to get back to the forces, so pay attention. Now, you do that, you are bullish, you're bearish, excuse me. You're not really a bear. No, you are just what? Acting like a bear. There you go. Your force is bearish. The energy you are manifesting is bearish. The Neteru are like that. Also, watch this. Some carry with them certain energies. Ra is what? Fire. Ra. Aset is wisdom. Again, intuitive knowledge from within. She learned everything she could from Ra, who represents fire. Shu, watch this. Again, the firstborn, he represents that stuff we breathe in, air, wind, etc. Those energies, watch this, are to be understood and what? Mastered. How the hell can I master fire, wisdom, and air? Yoda showed you in Star Wars. I gave it away already. All right, but you need to understand and master what? By a what? Spiritual. You need to master by a spiritual aspect, and the aspect you should be able to manifest them at will for yourself. When Luke went to find the Jedi Master, Jedi, that's the Jet Pillar. That's Osiris's spinal cord. Just give you a heads up. Okay, I'm taking you now. I'm leading you now. I'm leading down the road. Hope you can follow and just understand as we go on. It'll make sense to you if you follow along. Let's go. When we talk about the principles of supreme wisdom, okay, who are we talking about? We're talking about the goddess Aset. And what? She embodies what? The principle of feeling and actions of that. In a sense, yes, just like that Wall Street personality, the bear and the bull, he is a bull, and at the same time, he is also John Doe. Whatever the name is, also, essentially, especially watch this, in the Maya philosophy, you are your actions. If I act with knowledge and wisdom, I said, no problem with that. When I act with discernment, which I do, I'm Anubis. Again, these are all forces of nature that you can adapt and master. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. I hope you're following along. I know some of you are, but I'm trying to get the other ones who may be a little slow to catch up. But Dave, watch this. What you do, watch this. And as the saying goes, morals are judged by what? Deeds. I read action. Nothing else. Titles, property, none of that means nothing. Deeds is what you're going to be judged by. So understand that. And watch this. Your internal morality, is what? Judged at Judgment Day. By who? By the expressions of that mortality, and that determines what? Your fate for your future. Spiritual evolution. The better you get at being you, better you gonna be at Judgment Day. Your heart got to be light as Maya's feather. That's what you're working on. Purifying yourself and mastering force. Here we go. The whole idea here is what? Is that you, the aspirant right thinker, was to learn the principles I'm trying to teach you, and that you would discover what? Those principles where? Within yourself. And truly, and not just intellectually, you can go to college and get the degrees and follow the doctor, but that don't make you nothing other than somebody who went and got doctrinated in education system. That's all it means. Spiritually, if you ain't a good person, if you ain't serving your higher self, you know better than the people who ain't got no better education. So having education ain't the criteria. Now this is not just to know, watch this, not just to know about them, but to be able to what? Recite what? The myths about them. That means you studied about them. You know them. Watch this. Or be able to what? Discuss anything what about them. If you ask me about any part of my character, I can explain it to you. That's what I do for you. You want to be able to do just that too. Watch this. Now, you should be able to know them, discuss them, their history, their exploits, etc. Everybody knows the story of Jesus, but you know anybody else's story? Other people you can learn from. That's my point. Watch this. And this kind of thing, this is not what we are talking about. No. To know something is to become what? One with it. To express it, experience it. That means that your thoughts, here you go, become what? It. Your words become what? It. And your physical RE, your action also becomes it. The three modes of expression. And if you were to learn and know what that principle, you master it, you would have heard you have heard master musicians who play music do not think about the music when they are playing it. That's the gift. We call it as an athlete. If you play basketball, you're in the zone, like you can't miss. Everything you throw up goes in. My son explained that to me one time. Dad, I said, yeah, I'm fully aware. So we all have experienced that. Let's talk about the musicians right quick. Okay, here you go. So they don't think when they play the music. They just do it. They're doing it. They are it, and they become it. If someone was to ask you a question about philosophy, right? Think of philosophy, and you have to go and look in the book or go back and ask questions about it, reflect upon it, seek counsel about it, you what? Haven't become it yet. You haven't mastered it. That's you. You still have the effect. You still, in effect, what? The stage you still what? Striving. It is spontaneous movement once you have what? Attained it. I don't have to use the books to do what I do. I use the books to teach you. I already read these. I got it. Trying to get it to you. That's my point. Okay, moving on. Watch this. I got some more good stuff. Now, once you have attained it, I was told a long time ago, you got it. Okay? If it is God, yeah, I got it. Do you got it? That's the question. So watch this. So when you're ready to what? Excel to other attainments, meaning other characters, your other personalities, character personality, you ready to take on the next one. Watch this. Other masterships. And as you master, also you are able to what? Harness. If you master the principle of I said, perfect example, then you can what? Harness that principle. You can harness that cosmic energy by the mode of what? Action. B, these are just supports for your will, and the goddess Nat or Net, N-E-T or A-N-A-T. She's the prognosticator of our set. She represents what? Will. Although right now we are just referring to her as the transcendental aspect. We're trying to just use her as an example that we have talked about previously. I gave a breakdown of her too. She's the original bullseye. She carries an arrow and a shield. When she let that arrow go, it's going to hit its mark. She's not a sinner. Remember, sinners are just people who don't get it. Mr. Mark, so to speak. If you're an archer, you know what that means. Let's go. Now, on the physical level, she also represents what? Not right now. Will and determination, as well as clarity of purpose. This principle is related to the power that a person is what able to harness once they have comfort in their knowledge. Once they have get out of there. Once they have security in what their understanding, this concept is what related to the term MN or no, MNNU. And what it means? It means you are firm. You are the term Jed, Jedi, Jedu, but the term is Jed, D-J-E-D, which what means? It means that you are well established in your position and knowing what you know, aka your knowledge of self. When you got full knowledge of self, you know that self, you will not be moved. You can't get me out of the mode I'm in right now in my life. A team of wild muggers couldn't. You can't understand that. That's being grounded. That's being established. Moving on. I'm looking at the clock, but I remember I can't worry about the clock. So I'm doing my thing. Let's do this. Religious practice, also, watch this, has 3 steps: the myth, the ritual, and the mysticism. Again, most people like the myth and the ritual. You know the story, you go to church. Pray and you talk. Yeah, okay, but you don't live it. The key to mysticism is living it, manifesting it. That's how you know for yourself. And it is what? To be made effective through what? 3 disciplines of who? Sheedy, again, back to my thing. But it's discipline to what? Penetrate the mysteries of who? She taught Neteru. Again, we in my backyard. The disciplines are what? First of all, listening. When you hear it, you should reflecting. And once you reflections and go over the concept that you're listening, you should meditate on it. That means you're getting it, you're locking it in, and you're perfecting it. So in order to what? Harness the power of the principle of the Neteru, you must what? Know that principle, live the principle, and to know that is to what? Become it, live it. When? Daily. In order to know it, you must be able to listen philosophically, deconstruct it, deprogram it, okay, so to speak, and back again, reconstruct it, reprogram it, and it reprogram it, and also what? Experience it for yourself as well as to be able to express it for yourself. You know it to be You know it by studying daily what? The teachings related to it by what? And you acted on it. You bring it to fruition by practicing it, by thinking it, by speaking it. When your actions take on this quality of this discipline of the tree of life, the actions now are what? Ritual actions in which you are taking the teachings, the philosophy to what? The next level of religious practice. Again, daily practice of something, it can be called religion. All right. I don't say religion because religious practice in a belief system. I don't believe in the belief system. That's why I don't call it religion, but it's a way of life. That's why I call it that. Understand it. When you're using words, words have definition. Use the right word to define what you're saying. People don't say, I didn't mean that, but that's what you said. Sorry about that. I hate that fact when people come out their face and then don't understand what they said. As a teacher, I have to be precise and on point so I can explain what I said if you don't understand. Your actions are also what? To become what? A day-to-day. Your actions are to become what? Day-to-day expressions of the teachings in your ordinary life situations. I do this, I live this, I think this, I eat this, I supply this. Why? This is what I do for you. And that's why I do it. I know what I'm doing. The sacramental practice, okay, understand that, of perpetuating and relate the relations to what? The principles, and that you should have a ritual related to the divinity. If you praying, you don't have a God of your understanding, who you praying to? Just a general, just putting out there? Throwing it to God? What God? Who God? Physical God. Spiritual, we all got the same God. In physical form, human form, we have a mother and a father. That's where you start. I get excited. So if you don't have an idea of a divinity to practice or to pray to, who are you praying to? So understand it, get understanding, have a God of your understanding. Don't make a difference who it is, but it's all the same one. You can define him any way you want. Symbolically, you can make it represent whatever, but at least if you're living what you believe that God wants you to do, that's all that matters. So let's get that. So let's say you live in divinity. Let's say God is Aset, for example. In the practice of the Anoyan Theurgy tree of life spiritual program, you offer what? Libations before you burn incense and you light a candle. I got my own little memorial spot shrine set up. Yeah, if that's what you practice, that's it. And everybody does what they do different. So however you do it, that's to your, again, your personal thing. Now, and you got the candle, and then you utter Heka, which is special words of power. That's verbal prayer. Prayer aloud. To commemorate what? And invoke the energy, which they call, again, cosmic force of who I said. We call it on the forces I said, the energy of I said. We can call it Hadu, you can call it Hadar, you can call it anybody you want, but you got to be specific who you call it. And that means you got to learn and know who you're talking to. I know them all. That's the best part about it. And then watch this. Cosmic force of ourselves. And then you do what? Your readings, or you listen to what? Live tapes, recordings of lectures, but you reflect on what you have what? Read or heard. And then you what? Meditate on what you have studied. But in your day-to-day life, right thing in philosophy, this is my thing. You got to practice day to day to get good and the master. Whatever the philosophy you practice, whatever routine you try, you need to practice it day to day in your normal life. Why? You must also act like I said. When her husband, she's the reason why to die. Her husband got killed. She went and found him, brought him back, left him to come go take care of business, came back, set, got him again, cut him up into 14 pieces. She went and found all 13 pieces. The 14th piece, the penis was eaten by the fish. So she put them back together again, mummified. Who's the first mummy? That's go the story. But Aset is the person who puts things together. That's her thing. She showed unconditional love. She raised a son. She take care of her husband, brought him back from the dead. Both of them. She brought both of them back from the dead for a simple period of time. Her husband, in time to get impregnated, her son brought him back to life from the scorpion state. Why? She stopped the world. When her son got bit, she told Ra, hold up, everything. So that's power. So if you want to be Aset, that's the official mother. I got one. My mom, I treat her like Aset. That's my goddess. And you watch this. You must adopt the principles of her personality. Again, notice that you don't have to give up your personality to become her. No, I'm still me. I just got that concept of her in me. You can discover her essence within you, and your personality is transformed thereby. Ding, 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 ding. That's the concept. When you do that, the mind, way you think. You ain't gonna change you until you change the way you think. If you ain't thinking right, you need to change the way you think. If you're thinking right, you can continue on doing what you're doing. Trust me. Now remember that you already are an expression of the divine. Some of us don't know that. That's the memory law. We say waking up. We are spiritually asleep. I'm the spiritual alarm clock, waking you up. That's my concept. Ding, 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 ding. Let's go. Watch this. You are already an expression of divine. You're not becoming something else. When you begin to learn about the principles, you start to act and think in accordance with them, and you begin to what? Feel them. Or rather, you begin to recognize them within you and yourself as you own, as your own deeper innate nature. Aset is me. I'm Aset. Watch this. Yeah. In essence, in principle, you can be that. Understand that. Where you at now? Mm-hmm. Okay. In this way, watch this. You are becoming a master. I'm a master mason. I'm a master myself. Master right thinking. So I've got mastery of a few things. Don't need your college degree. Remember the saying. Understand this. Watch this. This is the best part right here. Man and woman are what? Mortal gods and goddesses. Yeah. And gods and goddesses are what? Immortal men and women. That is the ancient Egyptian teaching and a goal on the spiritual path. If you were to what? Remove your spiritual ignorance and stop your unrighteousness through the practice of what? Maya. That's what I did, and that's how I used it. The practice of cheating, again, my thing, study of your teachings. I do that every day. And if you begin to what practice as we are talking here today, knowing your divinities, acting like them, speaking their truth, thinking their thoughts related to them, how they think, how they rationale, learning to reason as they do, you are eventually becoming what? Like them. you become one with them. That's the goal for all right things. I got another page. I got another page. I gotta wrap this up for you. Where we at? Now, I got a quick story. There's an ancient Egyptian parable that illustrates some important aspects of these teachers related to what? The cosmic forces. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We getting there, yeah, we getting at it too. Where we at? Where we at? Okay, yeah. This is a comedic story of the Old Kingdom period, the most ancient period of the dynamic area. There was once a story about a king who was bored. Yeah, that happens. And he had a harem, which they all do. And one of his ladies said, "Baby, why don't you just take a boat ride? And we all play music, and for you, we'll sail down the Nile, okay? And we'll have a great time." Okay. He said, "Excellent idea. Let's go." So they all went down, sailing down in the Nile. And all the ladies, watch this, all the ladies were playing the music and they were relaxing, and it was unbelievably calm. If you go to Egypt and you can just see it happening, you can sail just as they used on the ancient times. In ancient times, now all of a sudden, one of the ladies stopped rowing. He got a harem. He don't have men. All his workers are ladies. Player. Okay? But they start rowing. And then, watch this. The rest of them start rowing. And the king asked, "What's going on? Why have we stopped?" And the lady said, I I lost my great jewel that you had given me. It fell overboard. Uh-oh. And my man Scooby, "Ruh-roh. I don't see it. I don't know what happened to it." Then the king called one of his ministers, a priest from the other side, to come and see if he could do anything about the problem. He said to, let me see, he said to the minister, "One of my wives had lost a jewel that I gave her, and she's very upset. And all the ladies here are very upset. Everybody's upset. We have stopped rowing, and my whole wonderful day has been turned into a nightmare. Can you do anything and help me out?" So the minister said, "I'll do the best I can." Then he goes and looks overboard. And then, watch this, he utters some words. Hocus pocus, handy spanny, rigmarole. Okay, so he utters some words of power. And watch this, listen. And all of a sudden, what happened? The Nile River stopped flowing. And furthermore, the water started to what? Part. Cecil DeMille, when when Moses got to the water, all of a sudden the chariots come behind him. He put the staff up, and the water do what? Part ways. This is the story right here. Watch this. So the water parted from the middle. The water from one side of the river rose up and went top to the other side. There was a parting of the Nile. Did you know that? And watch this. So the priest got out and started what? Walking on the bottom of the Nile. And he saw the jewel where it had fallen, and he went and picked it up and returned to the boat. The priest uttered some more words, and the water did what? Came back into the Nile again, and they started flowing down the river again, and the ladies started rowing, and everything was fine from then on. And this story, of course, comes what? Thousands of years before the parting of the Red Sea, supposedly by Moses in the Exodus. I had to get that out. I had to get that one out. I'm almost done. What I am getting at, the fantastic feats of possibility. If the cosmic forces can be what? Controlled, listen, and harnessed. This includes feats such as flying, levitating through the air, making it rain, causing earthquakes, all that good stuff, right? Psychic powers, and the powers to what? Control the forces of nature. Here we go, and such. Wrapping up, bringing it home. Now, I recall the movie of George Lucas, my favorite, Star Wars. Luke, the Force, where he told this theme, where he, wait a minute, Star Wars is where he took up this theme of what? The life force energy residing in the universe that sustains us all. When Yoda was explaining to him about, got used before, okay, which what? Which the ancient Egyptians called, we call it second serpent power, okay? It's called And watch this. And we called it the force. He called it the force, where special individuals, here you go, can what? If you go to Charlotte Temple, you got a bunch of people with the force. Watch this. You have special individuals who can harness the force of what? Of nature. Yeah. This is where he gets it from. This is where the idea comes from. And he admitted as much. It came from the ancient sages who discovered these forces and developed spiritual disciplines sheathing to what? Discover and develop them. If you are able to know the principles and become one with them, perpetuate them in a proper way, here we go, you could harness their powers too. I did. You could perform strange feats, control the outer forces of nature, or control and manipulating the inner forces, the subtle forces that are even more powerful and potentially more destructive to what? The human personality, aka your ego. Wrapping it up. So we should understand this. Or also negotiate we should also not neglect that the subtle aspect of the myth is relating to what? The power of the inner peace that leads to what? Enlightenment, where the Pharaoh became bored. When the Pharaoh became bored, he was his ego making his mind agitated. He had given away the jewel, which represented the gold, the inner peace of what? Self-knowledge. The ladies are the movement on the water of life, who bring solace, harmony, pleasure. Remember, they serve him his harem. Pleasures, desires, but also progress on the waters. They're doing the rowing, they got the boat going. But that cannot work. Why? Pursuits of life. Long enough to what? Learn and utter what? The words that turn the mind towards the goal, the jewel, the divine. That's the point. Then the separation of what? Material and spiritual, the opulent opposite of life, the waters must be cleared away in order to see the way to the goal. Having attained the goal, the movement of the life may what continue with a higher perspective and a higher vision and mastery and dominion over one's life. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. The whole idea is to gain control of the principles that I'm trying to get to you, master them, and you master yourself. That's the goal. That's my mission. I'll be back.